Financial Fun Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Financial Fun Friday. I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland. Yes, we do. And of course, we are with Affordable Benefit Solutions, and we're being sponsored by ABS Retirement Solutions, where we're always bringing you what's new and what's next in the financial services industry. So for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, this is a webinar that we do on the first and third Friday each and every month. We broadcast at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And while we're here live on the Zoom recording, we're also broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Thank you all for joining us, getting up. We know you join us from all over the country. So right now, this is when we do our check-in time, right, Rita?
Yes.
So just put in the chat. If you're on Facebook, drop it in the comments. If you are watching us on YouTube, drop it on YouTube in the comments and let us know where you are watching us from. And during this broadcast, what we're going to do is we just pull back the curtains to give you an in-depth understanding of not only your employer benefits, but also give you some retirement preparation options and financial tips and strategies to help you along the way. And if you want to join us here on the live broadcast, you can always register at RitaBRowlandEvents.com, or you can find us on Facebook at your ABS Solutions. And if you're on YouTube, you can actually find us now at ABS Retirement on YouTube. So Rita, do we have anybody checking in?
They're a little quiet today. Let me make sure. I ain't miss it though. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of screens going on here.
Yes, that's okay.
Like no check-ins today. They not checking in, but we see them.
Yeah, that's okay. We know they come to us from all over the country, and we appreciate you, especially my girl over there on the West Coast in Washington State. Shout out to Ambrit. Hey, Ambrit, thank you for getting on. I know it's real early over there, 7:00 in the morning. So thank you all for joining us, but that's okay. You can check in later. We know you're going to have questions a little later. So the purpose of this broadcast for Financial Fun Fridays, we want to just help you understand your benefits, money, your money habits, your money personality, your spending habits. But then more importantly, we also want to offer you support and give you solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destination. Now, before we get too much into the information today, I do want to let you know that the information we're going to be going over is going to be generic in approach. And so why do we do that? Because we don't have individual information and knowledge about everyone that's on here right now and everyone that will watch us later. And those of you on Facebook Live, we don't know everybody's situation, so we can't customize it. But what we can do, if we go over some information that you're like, Rita, I want to know more about that. Darlene, I didn't know that. Reach out to us and give us a call at 301-577-6340. And your Financial Fun Friday team will customize and give you and your family the information that fits your particular needs. So thank you so much for accepting this information as general in context. And again, apply where you feel it meets your particular needs. But reach out to your Fun Friday team, 301-577-6340. We are here for you to answer your questions. So thank you so much for understanding. This right now, what we're covering today, Rita, it's healthcare open season. Now, if you work for the government, of course, your open season is coming up. It's starting in, what's that, Rita, 9 days, 10 days?
Yep, 10 days.
Starting in 10 days. So it's going to run from November 13th through December the 11th of this year. Now, we also, for those of you that may already be retired or you're getting ready to retire, your Medicare age, if you're not under your special Medicare open enrollment. The general enrollment is getting ready to start for Medicare as well. So it doesn't matter where you work, if you work for the government or if you're in private industry, if your employer offers you the opportunity to switch your healthcare plan during a certain time of the year, then this broadcast is the one you want to be looking at today. And President Joe Biden says, hey, healthcare should be a right, not a privilege for all Americans. So if you have healthcare through your employer, then, count it all good, because there are some people that just still today do not have quality health insurance. So we are going to jump right into it. So since it is open season, Rita, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some things to consider. What should people be, thinking about, Rita, as we talk about health insurance? What are some things to look for in a plan as they're choosing their health insurance?
Well, the first thing I would say, darling, thank you, because I think this is so important when it comes to our health care. We don't always do our due diligence and find the right plan that suits our health care and our family. And one of the things that's very important, but it can't be the only thing that's important, and that's the cost, right? The cost shouldn't be just because it's the cheapest one, that's the one I go with, or because it's the most expensive one, it's the one that you think you need. So before you look at the cost, you need to put some other things as a factor. And one of the factors I think you need to know is, like, do you go to the doctor? Like, some of you may be very healthy and you go to the doctor once a year or twice to get your annual, your physical, your blood work. If you're a woman, you may go to the woman doctor, your OBGYN, and you get your checkups. You like, I'm good, no high blood, no diabetes. I'm just going every year to make sure things are good. Well, you may not need the max plan. You may not. So when I met my husband, Bernard had the best of everything, but he was very healthy, no prescriptions, no nothing, weight good, no drugs, no nothing. I said, so why are you paying the high price for healthcare when you don't go to the doctor, but every year to get your checkup? He was like, because, I wanted the best plan, the Aetna, so that's what I paid for. I said, but you don't even use it. So we looked at his health plan, shifted him to a plan that saved him $100 a pay period. Now, some people fear, darling, is that if they don't have the best plan, if something happened to them, they can't afford the copay. So what we made a decision to do, to take the difference of the basic plan, put that money into a savings account. So he had money going into a savings account. If he needed it for his care, it was there. But if he did not need it, it was money that he can now transfer to savings retirement. Okay. The other thing you need to be very careful is to look at your doctor. So I want to switch to this plan because it's cheaper. But I got a favorite doctor who I love, Darlene. I love Dr. Taj. She believes in natural healing. All of that's important to me. So any any plan I choose has to be where the doctors that care about me, that know my body, that know my health situation, they need to be on the new list of the doctor. So you may change because you say price, but now you're miserable because the doctors you like, where you want to go, you can't go. So before you make a decision, count that as a cost, not just the dollar sign, but what is it? Also, some of us, Darlene and I, we got a friend, we're not going to tell her name because her business is her business, but she's a travelista, okay? The girl goes all over the world. So for her, having a health plan that if she gets sick and hurt, as she did one time across the border, what happens if she gets sick? Will your health plan cover you if you're in Rome or if you're in Jamaica? Those things matter. So making sure that you have a nationwide plan and a global plan to make sure if anything happens, sick or hurt, that healthcare have some form of benefits that can help you get back over here or get the care you need if you're in a different country. And Darlene, people are traveling a lot, but people don't know about that. And if you don't have that health plan, then you definitely need to get that supplemental health plan that they offer.
Right. And Rita, and if I could just jump in, because that is a very important point that you're making there, because oftentimes when we meet with people, one of their goals, because when we do our planning, again, we go from what your goals and dreams are for your retirement, and travel is something that often comes up when we're doing planning for
Yeah.
retirement. That's their, one of their goals, one of their dreams. We want to travel. So, as you just said, making sure your health plan will cover you outside of the borders of the United States is going to be very important because you're going to be in retirement and you're traveling. So you want to make sure both of your goals and your benefits can link up properly. So Rita, that was a very, very great point. Yeah, because
And
often, and Rita, you know what? One other thing I want to say, because I still want you, because I know some other things too that you want to go over. But one thing I found with my clients, I know this was true for my mom when
mhm,
she was still here with us.
mhm.
We will sign up for a health plan and we will stay right there. Sometimes we are loyal to a fault and we will continue to pay those high prices, those high premium costs when we don't have to. As because if the other plan is better suited for you, and read it, if it has your doctors on it, right? Then why are you still over here complaining about your high premiums when you can go to a new partner and get better benefits? So why don't you expound on that a little bit? Other things like making sure your doctor takes the plan.
Yeah, I think the other thing for me, so yeah, I'm being a little personal here, right? So I apologize in advance. Like, will it cover second opinions and alternative health care? Because for me, I don't want you just to give me a drug. What are my other alternative options that I may have? What's important to me? Okay, and a lot of plans cover this now. Like, is there chiropractic care? Maybe acupuncture? Like, you may tell me one thing, I need to go to another doctor, maybe a third doctor, to make sure all three of y'all opinions are in alignment together. Because how many people have gone to one doctor and they come back and they didn't have that because they never got a second opinion? So I think making sure that what's important to you in your body is reflected in the health
Mm-hmm.
that you pick. And many times, like you said, darling, we pick a plan and we just stay there. Just like you review your retirement plan, you review maybe, and that's another thing. Honestly, people don't review their stuff the same. Car insurance, same health insurance, everything is the same. But as you said, they're complaining or it no longer suits their needs. Like our healthcare plan, it could be another plan that Bernard can get for him being over 65, but that plan doesn't cover me who's under 65. So when you think about your healthcare, there's many things to consider. And that one there, having a second opinion and having alternative care matters to me, and that may matter to you. The other thing is like, what are the prescription plans? Is it tier one, tier two? Do you have to only get generic or can you get brand? What are your healthcare needs and pharmacy needs? Do you go to the pharmacy to pick it up? Okay, are there any near you? Because CVS now Target is forever moving and changing. Don't accept this, and you need to make sure that your prescriptions, that you can find them, they're in the right place. Like there's a place in Oxon Hill that Bernard like is like a little family owned pharmacist. So he has to make sure that it's in alignment with what his health care and the things that he needs. So I think it's just very important when you think about it. Think about all the things, write out a list of things that are important to you.
Yes.
You compare that list and look at their premium rates. Do they go up all the time? Again, if you don't need the max plan, all you need is the low plan, then do the low plan. If you have, most people, darling, have the comprehensive because we're afraid that if we get sick,
Yes.
we won't have
Yes,
the best health.
Rita.
So put 2-3 grand aside, pay this low premium. You may not need that max health plan for years. All you're going to do is have to pay a higher copay or a higher deductible. If you put that deductible in a savings account somewhere, call it your health savings, and then let that sit and grow, get interest, and then you save per pay period. Now that money you're saving can go into your retirement, can go pay off your debt, can go help pay for your kids for college. How much more could you be doing with that money that you're giving and you don't really need it? That's important, right? Because it's real money. That's not just you used to it, but that doesn't mean it can't be used in another form or fashion to help create your own wealth. And just do your due diligence with your healthcare plan. Why? Because your health depend on it. Your pocketbook will care and your
The
future self will want to have the best plan possible when it needs it and what can best suit you. I just think we need to look at it more often. And like you said, Darlene, we get in a rut, like it comes out of pay period. I ain't paying no attention. We in retirement. I know I can go to the doctor, but it still doesn't mean that it's the best plan for you because guess what? These plans are changing every year. I'm
every
gonna
year.
open it, look at it, what changed? Then you'd be like, I didn't know that. Well, we sent it to you back in June, and we was warning you back in August, and then we made the change, and you never looked at it because we don't take our care and health insurance isn't important until we have a tragedy or that we truly need it. Then we got all the questions.
Or we see the train wreck coming towards us, and now we're looking for the answers. And Reed, I just want to go back and speak just briefly about those prescription calls. So I hope you all are writing all of this down, things that you want to consider as you choose your next health plan, because those of you that are looking to retire at the end of the year, or you're going out after the last pay period in January, this is the time right now to pick your health plan. If you are looking at your Medicare Advantage plans, you're in the private sector, these are things you want to be asking. As Rita just said, just a quick recap. Is my doctor going to be in the plan? What are the copays going to be for the plan? The prescription costs. Where does your drug fall in the tier? That is very, very important, because Rita, when my mom was alive, she was on several medications, and just from, sometimes it can be good because, switching, because the prior plan she had, her drug was actually one of the top tier drugs, so she was paying the highest price. There was, and she couldn't take the generic version of it. But when we switched her, then her drug was for that health plan, it wasn't a top tier. It was like the mid range. All I know is we went from paying $45 for it to paying $25. And that was a big deal for us. Why? Because my mom had so many prescriptions on the year. And you also want to see, when it comes to prescriptions, what's the cap? Because every year I was nervous she was getting towards the cap. My mom was spending for her, and she was a federal employee. If I hadn't mentioned that, this is a federal employee I'm talking about with the FEHB plan. But my mom, for her share, and again, she had a lot of prescriptions, but each year she was approaching $4,000 for her share.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And if she would have went over that, then we would have been looking at each other like, what do we do now? So that is important. So Rita, they need to do their due diligence, right? Yes. You are writing down your answers. They need to make sure their doctor is on the new plan as you're, considering which plan to go to. What's something else they should consider? Because we're going to be doing something for you all next broadcast. So what's something else they could consider or should consider?
I think we kind of pretty much hit the things that I think the biggest deal is finding the right healthcare plan that matters to you. And maybe what you could do is write out your health concerns. So this is what I have. If you have any, I'm not putting any health issues on anybody, okay? But list out the things that you have. List out how you want to be cared for. Like, what would you like your care plan to look like for you? What's best for you? Is it like me? I want to go to natural doctors. I don't want to get surgery first. I want to get physical therapy. So how many visits of PT can you go to a year? I have healthcare to make sure I can go get physical therapy. I have a herniated disc. And so I don't want to do surgery. So every few years I do some physical therapy to help strengthen my back, and I do exercise. What matters to you, Darlene, is the most important thing. And don't talk to Susie, your neighbor, and Bob, your coworker. Wow. Because their health care may not be yours. And one of the things we do with everything, we talk to other people, and other people give us their opinion. Not that it's bad. They tell you what they want, which is not wrong, but that's what they want. And we oftentimes look at our retirement. We looking at our retirement systems, what they have in their TSP or their 401k, what health plan, that's for them. What is for you? And I
What
think
is
you
it?
think
Yeah.
about all the factors of your health care, what matters to you. What happens if I need to go to rehab? How many days does rehab? What does that look like for you? If you're older and you got Medicare, what does it pay? How does it connect? Look at everything. And guess what? Darling, you said the key thing. When I'm 20, it may be a different plan when I'm 40. And there's a whole nother plan when I'm 70. So you be okay that one few years you got Kaiser Permanente. Next year, Aetna is better for you. Now you're in retirement. You like the Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare reimbursement plan. All of that matters. So
All of it.
age matters, healthcare matters, time matters. So just look at everything, write it all out, look at your list, and look at the current health plan you have and see, does it cover what you want? Look at the price, go to another one, say, wow, they cover everything, but it's $40 a pay period. That may not sound like a lot, but $40 over a year, that's almost $500 that you could put in your pocket and do something else with. So I'm just saying, count your costs, look at what you want, and make sure that your health concerns are in alignment with the health plan that you pick.
Right. And if you work for the government, OPM has the comparison tool up right now. So go
Yes.
to opm.gov and click on the health insurance, because they have the big thing up there for open season, letting you know you can start looking around for plans right now. As Rita said, write out your list. And yes, retirees, this
Yes.
is your time to shine too during open season. So if you haven't been happy, there's so many plans out there. As a matter of fact, Rita, next broadcast on November the 17th, we're going to have one of your representatives, healthcare plan representatives, here to speak with you to go over their plan, Aetna. They're going to be here. So bring your questions. They have a lot of good plans that are there. If you're retired and you have Medicare, hey, Rita just said, put some money to a side. Well, this plan that's going to come up, they actually have a reimbursement plan if you have Medicare Part B. So Rita and I, she didn't share this yet, but we're going to be doing a whole series on understanding Medicare, the link between your health insurance and long-term care. Because as you get to retirement, that's going to be important. But Rita, you know what? I don't want to leave out our young listeners, because if you're healthy, Rita said, your health plan you have when you're 20, you're in good health. Even if you're not, a young person, you could be in your 60s in the epitome of health. No, you're not taking any medication, you exercise. Look at an HSA plan, one of those high deductible plans, and you're putting money over there. And the benefit to that is, if you're not going to the doctor a lot, when you pay when you have a high deductible, your premium is low, right, Rita? But you're actually putting money into a healthcare savings account. And when you turn 65, that money, if you haven't been using it, guess what it can be now? A retirement account for you. So it's a lot of little hidden gems in there, just some things to consider. But we appreciate you joining us today. Next week, not next week, I wish it was next week, but on November the 17th, we're going to have, as I said, an Aetna representative here to go over their plan. So that's just one less comparison you have to do, because the Aetna representative is going to be here to go over all of that, their plan with you. So those are just some things to consider as we get ready to start this healthcare open season. And so, as we always like to tell you, and thank you, Mr. Alan Lakin, planning, because that's what you're doing. Planning is bringing the future into the present, so you can do something about it right now. We have 10 days before open season starts. Start planning on how you want to handle your health insurance, what you want to do. And I'm sorry, Rita, go ahead. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I just think when you think about what you just said, and it makes us think, so much of our life we have not planned, right? We just kind of live life robotically, just doing what we used to doing, not really making any changes, right? And then when it comes to retirement, we're getting close to it. it becomes overwhelming to most of us because we have not been really doing what we needed to do. So what he just said, like I think is major for us to look to your future. And so if you read my book, that last chapter, I kind of go over some stuff to help you think about that. But look at your future and ask yourself what matters to you, and then bring it to today and think about what you need to put in place so that those things can happen. Because the sooner you do it, the stress, the cheaper it could cost, the more money you may have. All of that really does matter. So don't let it overwhelm you. Again, look at it, look at what you want, and then begin. And you don't have to do it all in a day, in a week. Like set timelines. I want to handle this month. I want to look at that. So give it yourself time, but make sure you don't leave it unattended.
Absolutely. And so, we're here for you. Contact us if you want us to help you map out a strategy so you can get all of the pieces together. We are here. You can reach us at 301-577-6340. Shoot us an email. If you have any questions, it's FFF. I think it's on the next screen right here, FFF@yourabsolutionsinc.com. You're on Facebook. Go over there. If you're not following us, please take the time, follow us. If you are on Facebook and you're watching us right now, share this video out. Find us at Your AB Solutions on Facebook. On YouTube, you can go back and watch this broadcast. YouTube, we want to hear from you. Drop us a comment in the comment section. So it has been wonderful, you all. We appreciate you hanging in here with us for this healthcare open season kickoff. Again, we'll be back here on November the 17th. It is the 17th, right, Rita? I want to make sure I'm getting
She got her numbers right, y'all. She added that 3 and that 14. She got that together.
I got it. So yes, please join us here on November the 17th when we have our Aetna representative here, Mrs. Leslie Priest. Everybody take care and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
All right, bye.